September 10th, the air in Orem, Utah was thick with the usual tension of a campus political tour. Charlie Kirk, the face of Turning Point USA, was doing what he does best, debating. But at approximately 4:30 p.m., the debate didn't end with a handshake or a viral own. It ended with a single high-powered crack that echoed off the brick facades of Utah Valley University. Kirk was hit. The crowd scrambled. In the blink of an eye, one of the most polarizing figures in American politics was being rushed to Timpanogos Regional Hospital in critical condition. But as the sirens faded, a much quieter, more terrifying story was beginning. A shooter was on the move, and he wasn't just a shadow, he was a digital ghost who had been planning this moment in the dark corners of the internet. Investigators immediately secured the perimeter. They found the perch, a rooftop roughly 130 meters, about 430 feet from where Kirk stood. This wasn't a spray and pray situation, this was calculated. Footage from a bystander's phone captured a figure in all black, perched in a prone position. It's a chilling image. It's a professional stance used by a person who, by all accounts, was an amateur. Then, the footage shows the escape. A sprint across the gravel roof, a jump that looked practiced, and a disappearance into the surrounding residential neighborhood. The FBI arrived within hours, placing a $100,000 bounty on any lead. For 24 hours, the state of Utah was on a knife's edge. 2 suspects were detained, interrogated, and released. The trail was going cold until a phone rang in a police station 300 miles away. Cases like this show just how thin the line is between the digital world and the real one. If you appreciate these deep dives into the stories the mainstream media glosses over, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It's the best way to make sure you don't miss our next crime investigation. The break in the case didn't come from high-tech facial recognition. It came from the ultimate betrayal, or perhaps the ultimate act of parenthood. Tyler Robinson, a 20-something from Washington, Utah, had fled back toward his hometown. But he couldn't keep it inside. He confessed to a family member, his father. Now imagine the weight of that conversation. His father was a veteran of law enforcement. He knew exactly what that confession meant. He told a family friend who alerted the authorities. By late Thursday evening, Tyler Robinson walked into a St. George police station and surrendered. But as the handcuffs clicked, the FBI was already opening his laptop, and what they found inside was a bizarre fusion of political rage and internet brain rot. This is where the story shifts from a political tragedy to a modern psychological puzzle. Robinson's roommate handed over his Discord logs. They weren't filled with traditional revolutionary manifestos. Instead, they were a play-by-play of the crime, discussed like a video game quest. Robinson talked about drop points for his rifle. He described wrapping the weapon in a towel and hiding it in a specific bush, details that led police directly to a high-powered bolt-action rifle in the woods. But it was the physical evidence that truly baffled investigators. When they examined the shell casings and the unspent rounds, they found messages engraved into the brass. One said, "Bella Ciao," the anthem of Italian partisans. Another featured a button sequence from the game Helldivers, a stratagem used to call in a bomb. And then there was the trolling. One casing was engraved with the notice bulge meme. Another had a crude, homophobic slur, followed by LMAO. It was as if he was treating an assassination like a 4chan thread. He wasn't just killing a man, he was posting in real life. The reaction was a microcosm of America's divide. Donald Trump took to Fox and Friends, attributing the attack to the radical left and the demonization of conservative figures. But Utah Governor Spencer Cox took a different tone. He spoke about the metastasis of political violence. How hate simply breeds more hate until someone finds an off-ramp. As it stands, Robinson's motives are still being parsed by the courts. Was he a political soldier or a victim of extreme online radicalization? What we do know is that on September 10th, the line between internet rhetoric and physical violence didn't just blur. It vanished. If we don't find that off-ramp Governor Cox mentioned, the question isn't if this will happen again, but when.